everyone, it's Victoria's Board Gaming, and I'm here today with a different kind of video. Now, if you know me, you know I have an old main channel, but that's more for like what I watch and all that. I used to post music to it, stopped doing that, and I made a gaming channel instead because I didn't feel like rebranding the old channel and like working with all that. I just wanted to have a personal channel. So, I know this isn't gaming, obviously, it's art, duh, but it's just like, I didn't want to have to make a whole new channel, but I also didn't want to have to upload this to my old channel, because that would spark questions, and also I have less subscribers there, so I figured this would just be better to reach the people who know me. So I wasn't going to make this video, and I also wasn't going to commentate, but I was watching a stream recently, and it was Cryotic's editing stream, and I decided to put it out to the chat and be like, chat, help. And I was like, I want to make this video, but I don't know whether or not to commentate. Like, should I commentate over it or not? And first one who replied was Cry himself. Like, he saw it and he was like, do it. Like, you could do it, and then if you run out of things to say, put his music, that kind of thing. So he's like, just talk as long as you can, do it. So, and then the rest of the chat was like, do what you want, that kind of thing. So basically it was, do it. So I did, and I'm doing it, and it's weird. But yeah, I did this like a month ago. I call her Rainbow Lady because I'm bad with names, and I wanted to do a Copic piece, not Copic piece, but like an alcohol marker piece, and I wanted to break in this sketchbook I'm using, which is a Strathmore sketchbook. I think it's Strathmore. It's smooth. It's smooth Bristol board, and it's supposed to be perfect for markers. And I kept seeing a lot of good stuff about Bristol board with alcohol markers, so I decided to go ahead and try it. And I wanted to make sure that my first sketch in this Bristol board thing would be good. Like, I wanted to make sure that it was something that I could be proud of, at least a little bit. So I actually like did a regular sketch in my mixed media sketchbook, and then I ripped the page out and I decided to trace it, as you saw. Which, by the way, the fiddling was because that light box I'm using is like $25, and it's worth every penny. It's terrible. It stopped working the third time I tried to use it, so it's just not worth it at this point. But yeah, there was a point, a lot of the stream, like I swear about 40 minutes of the stream was me choosing colors, because I knew I wanted to make her hair rainbow, because originally she was going to be purple, and I was like, no, that's too common. Like, I already did a dark skin with light blue hair, I should do maybe red. And I'm like, no, that's Phoenix's thing. Like, I don't want to just make her hair my color, because it's gonna it'll give people the wrong impression that maybe I was drawing myself, and I obviously am not. So I decided to make her rainbow, and I was just like, yeah, okay, sure, whatever, I'll do rainbow. And it was pretty close to when the news came out that Australia like did their vote and everything, and that their equal rights for marriage actually passed. So when that happened, I think that was when I was like, yeah, it'll be good. I'm like, might as well. For in a way, it's for pride, but also it's like, it was just something I wanted to do. And I really wanted to use more colors of my markers anyway, because I tend to use a lot of blues and pinks and purples, because those are my favorite colors, and I don't ever use anything else, but I have all of these primary color markers. But I also tried not to use Copics, because those are gonna be for special days. So, yeah, I like how it turned out. I drew inspiration from this one artist I saw on Pinterest, and he did a profile thing, and then I had done a profile thing after that was like literally like almost, I basically copied how he did it, and then I flipped the sides and made it into somebody else. And like I made sure to draw certain features differently so that it wouldn't be actual copying or tracing. So I did that. And then that piece kind of inspired this one. So I knew I wanted her makeup and anything about her that should be brown to be purple besides her skin. Which you can tell that there's like an uneven coloring, and it's because I'm not good enough with the alcohol markers yet that I know how to color with them. I feel like I'm doing it wrong. Like I do the old way of coloring that, like, you know, your mom teaches you, where you color the outline and then color everything in. You can see me doing it. And I do that with skin, and I have a feeling that I'm not supposed to be doing that with skin, and it would be really nice if somebody told me, because it's a bit annoying. But yeah, art stuff on a gaming channel, great in that. I'm thinking of slightly rebranding. Because of this, I'm thinking of slightly rebranding to just Victoria's board, but part of me doesn't want to do that, just because I do really love gaming, and I kind of forgot that I was supposed to be doing Wednesday dual streams. I just haven't been doing them. So I'll be getting back to that. I'm gonna, when I come back, I'm just gonna be like, oh, I forgot. No, I'm not gonna say I forgot. I'm gonna say, you know, I had to take a break. That's not gonna be true at all. Yeah. So, I ended up really liking how I did this. I remember doing it and then finishing it and being like, wow, this is a pretty good first page. And I know what I would change. Like, first of all, I would use a reference for the ear. Second, I would try to get her lips more on point with where they should be, or how big they should be, because I feel like I wanted to make them bigger, but I was too afraid. Also, I would have redone where I placed the colors, because it seems like there's a lot of purple hair where there technically shouldn't be. Like, there should be less purple there, but I just didn't realize it. But I ended up really liking the concept. One thing that I don't like, which you'll see, is that I go over all the colors. I wanted to desaturate the colors on her head so that it looked shaved, because I realized it didn't look shaved and there was no depth to it. So I was trying to think of how I could desaturate it without running it over color blender. Running it over with colorless blender. So I was like, okay, well, I don't want to do this with colorless blender because it will not only desaturate the color, but it will make it closer to white. I don't want to do that. It's dark, so it should be a darker color. So I went over it with a warm gray to desaturate it, and it still did that weird, that texture that you get with the colorless blender, but it didn't get it as dark as I wanted, and I didn't want it to go too dark because it would change them drastically. Like, there was no in between. It was like, I think I used warm gray 4, and warm gray 5 was like too much of a difference, so I didn't do it. But I realized at one point that I was making them too flat, so you do see me go over some of the edges with darker colors, like just slightly darker. I tried to make it look more like hair. I realized I put too many hair marks at the edge between her head and her hair. I wish I had planned that out better. There's obviously gonna be so many things that I wish I could change. This is that point when you see me like shading in that part to make it more deep. where you see me realizing exactly what shading with different colors is, and I shaded purple, blue, and green with dark purple, and then I shaded yellow, orange, and red with green. And I realized that was a really good idea, but I wish I had realized it first. This is me going over the warm gray. See, it desaturates it really nicely, but it makes it too light, and I wish it had made it darker instead. But because of that, I also noticed that the red wasn't popped enough. Like, it didn't pop enough, so I went over it with a darker one. I was kind of surprised that I even got her skin tone as even as I did. But yeah, there's not much left to this drawing. There's about 3 minutes, and there's this song that's about to come on, and I want you guys to hear it. So I'm gonna leave this here. Like and subscribe for more if you want. If not, that's cool. One other thing, make sure to check the description for the link to my Redbubble store that I started with my friend Phoenix. If you know me, you know I've known her for years, and we finally have a store up on Redbubble that we post our art to, and it's really cute stuff, and it's just a really good way to support us. And yeah, that's okay. Just remember, I stream during the weekdays on Twitch at twitch.tv/victoriaisboard. Visit us at Redbubble in the description below. All music is provided by Monstercat.com. Thank you very much. I'll see you guys next time. Oh, link to the Discord below. Yeah. Alright, bye guys. Far from the places we can't get away from. She said, hey boy, I like your style. I'll let you play me for a while. Play me till the sun rises. Play me like a violin. With you now, not coming down. Leave my insanity up here in the clouds. Look what we found. Oxygen we can breathe. Let the madness slowly undress. Rip the mask off over our heads. We can dive down deeper instead. I said, hey girl, I'd like to stay here for a while, just you and I. Far from the places we can't get away from. She said, hey boy, I like your style. I'll let you play me for a while. Play me till the sun rises. Play me like a violin. Play me till the sun rises. Play me till your hands give in. Play me like a violin. Play me till the sun rises. Play me till you can't hide it.